Alright, folks, and welcome to another edition of our venture in the visual novel If My Heart Had Wings. Changing it up a bit instead of just seeing the full screen of my ugly face. Why not put in the main screen as a different approach? I ate a lot of candy before I started video recording, so yeah, I'm a little hyper right now. But anyways, last episode, Asa was thinking about something while she was out watching the Soaring Society, as the official title is called right now, trying to figure out how to store the glider without obviously tearing it up, but also making room for Asa and Yoru, who are now staying at the manor with everyone else. So yeah, a little bit of things that got just a little bit complicated. But with that, that's where we left off, and Asa was thinking about something. What was she thinking about? Amane, how about you take us to that scene and let's see where we go from there.
前回の続きから。あ、わかった。
Yep, that one. Let's get going.
ちょっと姉さん、何考えてるの？あそこなら入るでしょ。だから本気なの？ん？何か言いたいことがあるんならちゃんと言った方がいいよ。
Do it!
そうだ！いい場所があるわ！
Well, that was unexpected. That voice rang out surprisingly well across the air on this sunny day off. It was just like it was being read from a prepared script, which might be because it was strangely monotone. Everyone stared blankly at her at the same time. Asa became timid.
ほら、せっかく言えたんだから。
Thank you, Kaneko, for being so encouraging. Kaneko gave Asa a gentle push in the back. Asa took half a step forward. Asa, did you say there's a good place?
はい、実はいい場所に心当たりがあるんです。どこ
Kotori goes for it, without hesitation. At times like this, she's the most earnest.
と
Asa seemed like she was holding back as she glanced at Yoru, then pointed towards the lake.
あっちの方です。
We're looking at clouds right now, folks. Clouds. Is it really here? The place that Asa had brought us to was Windmill Hill. The area around here is supposed to be part of the renewable energy research facilities. This place has been opened up as a walking course so that the citizens can enter it freely. But there's nowhere that looks like it would be able to house a glider. However, Asa climbs over the gently sloping hill. Behind her, Yoru was sulkily following her. Asa stopped in front of a large building that had been built on the edge of Windmill Hill.
ここです。
Ageha and I both had made a face that seemed to say, "Here?" at the same time. We knew about this building. This had been here since before the windmills were built. It looked like a research facility or a storeroom, and had a somewhat mysterious appearance. And we had just decided amongst ourselves that it must be a place for monitoring the water quality of the lake. Now that we look at it again, it seems more like a factory. It's much bigger than I remember it.
昔 あんちゃんたちと忍び込もうとしたことあったよね。
At that time, the door was locked, and we couldn't get inside. Asa took a key out of her pocket and opened the door that had been locked.
どうぞ。
The 10-year mystery was about to be solved. As we stepped inside, our hearts pounded. It was a mess inside. There were several desks with outdated computers, documents, cardboard boxes full of junk. And to top things off, there were bottles of soy sauce and seasonings placed here and there. From the things there, it seemed like there were signs of activity. But looking at the room as a whole, it seemed like it had been abandoned. It had an air about it that made it feel like it had been deserted and forgotten about.
中はこんな風になってたんだ。
Ah,
ゾンビ映画に出てきそうな雰囲気ね。まだ使われてるの？いえ、もう誰もいません。ずっと昔、おじいちゃんたちが使っていたって言ってました。事務所っていうよりは研究所って感じだよね。何やってたんだろう。
Agaha goes ahead and starts looking at things in the room.
さあ、おじいちゃんは若い頃の道楽だって言ってましたけど。
Why did they leave it here and not have it demolished?
この丘一帯がおじいちゃんのものだからよ。今は自然エネルギーの研究のために貸してるだけ。
So he's a big landowner.
再開発では随分と儲けさせてもらったわ。
Yoru gave a grin as she spoke. He's the chairman of the board for Keifu Academy and seems to be a local celebrity. The reason why he knows my mother might also have something to do with that.
私たちおじいちゃんから鍵をもらって時々ここに来てたんです。この場所が好きだったから。好きだったのは姉さんでしょ。私はついてきてただけだもん。
You know what? These two are starting to remind me of another pair of characters from a different visual novel. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Asa almost reminds me of Chocola from Nekopara. And then, of course, Yoru kind of reminds me of Vanilla with the trait of wanting to follow her sister around. But Yoru obviously has a little bit more of a tsundere type of attitude. That's just my observation. Yoru was muttering under her breath. The reason why she was so sulky must be because she doesn't want anyone else to use it. We, holding back slightly, took a look around the room.
広いけど、ここじゃ作業はできないわね。グライダーを保管するには問題ないんじゃない？あ、いえ、ここじゃないんです。
Asa totters over to the back of the room, passing through the door on the other side. Whoa. Kotori was overwhelmed by how spacious it was. As I looked up at the high ceiling, my mouth was agape. This isn't so much a garage. It's more like...
ドックよね。
Yes, it's a dock. For building and maintaining ships and airplanes. That's judging by how vastly spacious it is and the equipment that's in here.
なんでこんなものがこんな場所にあるわけ？おじいちゃんたち、昔趣味で飛行機を作ってたって言ってました。
No kidding. I think them getting the soaring club reinstated might be more in sight than we may think. I think it might be Asa and Yoro's grandfather who might be the one to put Tobioka in his place. That's just my observation.
いつも口癖みたいにわしらはここで青春時代を過ごしたんじゃって。
If it's Asa's grandfather, then it's possible that this would have been after World War II. They might have gathered scrap and tinkered around with machines.
どうでしょう。
バッチリよ。これだけの広さがあれば2台くらいいっぺんに作れちゃうわ。
There's no problem with the space or the equipment. Rather, there's actually more than we need. It's not that far from the runway either. It would be easier to transport it from here than from the school, which is in the town.
早速運び込みましょう。でもってすぐに修理に取り掛かるのよ。あんちゃんに頼んで車出してもらわないとね。
Look at those faces. Look at those faces. Oh my gosh. Wait. Their eyes are sparkling like it's already been decided that we'll be using it, so I stopped them for a moment. Of course, it would be good if we could use it, but for Asa to say that we can use it for nothing in return actually makes me kind of worried. To think that there would be such a great facility here. Is it really okay for us to use it? Asa had a meek look on her face as I asked her.
一つだけ条件があります。
More likely to let her join the soaring club, right? Asa spoke nervously as her voice became quite high-pitched. So it's really not for nothing at all. We brace ourselves for what condition might be.
私も仲間に入れてください。
Called it! As Asa shouted out her intentions, her voice echoed around the quiet dock. It echoed for a while before gradually disappearing.
私グライダーのこと何も知らないし、何の取り柄もないです。夜ちゃんみたく何でもできればいいんだけど。でも私もグライダー作りの仲間に入れてほしいんです。
You're in! At the last part, it sounded like she was going to cry as she did her best to speak her mind.
小鳥。
Kotori had a serious look on her face as she was deep in thought. Kotori had said so a few days ago. She said that in actual fact, she didn't want any new members to join. We felt the same way, but of course Kotori understood that given the circumstances, there was no way we could not let someone join.
やっぱりダメでしょうか。
Kotori? Hey, Asa.
はい。
Why do you want to join us?
グライダーに興味があるから？それとも私たちが楽しそうだったから？
それは。
Asa began to stutter as I asked her a slightly tricky question. We needed to recruit new members anyway, and we would be able to use these amazing facilities, so it should be okay for us to accept unconditionally. But I put those thoughts to the back of my mind. These thoughts that were hard to make sense of felt like they were stuck in my chest.
私この場所が好きで、夜ちゃんと二人で時々遊びに来てたんです。ここでおじいちゃんが飛行機を作ってたって言ってたから。
That's what Yoru said before. Asa is just interested in things that fly through the sky.
あの日も二人でここに来てました。そしたら湖の向こうから白い飛行機が飛んできて。
A white aircraft?
その時まで 私はグライダーっていう名前も知らなかったんです。
それもしかして私たち？いつのフライトだろう。
After thinking it over a little, we suddenly realized. Could it be... Was that when we did the first test flight? After completing the main wings, we went on our first test flight, and that was also the day that I piloted the glider for the first time. On that day, I flew across the lake to Windmill Hill. Then, when we turned around and headed back to the other side of the lake, I noticed that someone was looking up at us. That's it. It was two petite girls. Just like Kotori, they were girls who liked gliders. I remember that was the impression that I had. So, Asa and Yoru were the ones here that time, huh?
はい、多分。
What is all this? I hadn't even thought about it until now.
それからまたグライダーが見たくてここで待つようになりました。ほとんど毎日来てたけど。
ウインチが壊れてしばらく飛べなかったのよね。
It appears that during that time, Asa was waiting for us.
それからしばらくして、あれは夏休みの終わりくらいだったと思います。家で嫌なことがあって、私ここに一晩中隠れてたんです。気がつくと窓から光が差してて、外に出てみたら明け方の空にすごく綺麗な雲が浮かんでました。
We instinctively reacted with surprise and looked at each other. Could it be?
紫とピンクの空に筆で描いたみたいな一筋の雲が浮かんでて、夜ちゃんと一緒に見てました。そしたらそこへ。
Without knowing it, I was shaking. Agea held my arm to stop it shaking. Kotori's face went red and had at some point become engrossed in Asa's story.
グライダーが飛んでました。
見てたんだ、
あの時はまだそれがグライダーってことすらよく分かってなかったですけどね。夜ちゃんに教えてもらって、それで分かって。でもずっと見てました。不思議な雲が消えるまでずっと。
I don't think they should refuse at this point. Asa put her hand on her left arm and quietly closed her eyes. It was as if she was reliving the scene from them disappearing. It was as if she was reliving the scene of them disappearing, like it was painted on the inside of her eyelids.
それが理由なの？
はい。私、自分に何ができるとか何がしたいのかとかまだよく分かってないけど、でもいても立ってもいられないんです。あの日見た光景が忘れられないんです。
I noticed that Asa's knees were shaking. It's like she's scared of something. However, even though she was shaking, she did not give in. She summoned her courage as if there was something that she desperately wanted to bring up.
小鳥？
Agea gave Kotori a gentle pat on the shoulder. Kotori nodded. There was no need to check. We all felt the same way.
あなたしかいないわ。うちの新入部員になれるのは。 ようこそソアリング部へ。
As of today, you're one of us. As she was suddenly welcomed into the club, tears welled up in Asa's eyes. Her cheeks had already become as red as apples.
本当にいいんですか？だって私グライダーのこと何も知らないし、トリエもないし。
It's true that to build and fly a glider, you need expert knowledge and techniques.
でも全部の作業がそうってわけじゃないしね。
We were complete beginners a year ago.
皆さんが？
Isn't that right, Kotori?
何の問題もないわ。ここを貸してもらえるだけでもお釣りが来るくらい助かっちゃうし、それに共犯にしちゃえば秘密をばらされる心配もないしね。
It felt like Kotori said something both eloquent yet crooked. But everyone just completely ignored it. The most important thing is your feelings of wanting to fly through the sky.
空を飛びたい気持ち。
If that's how you feel, you'll be fine, right?
うんうん、その通りというわけだから今日からよろしくね、朝。
Asa seemed vacant as she wiped away the tears that had accumulated in the corners of her eyes.
よろしくお願いします、先輩。
As Asa cheerfully lowered her head in a bow, Yoru sullenly looked away.
私は入らないから。
Bye! Looking at her twin sister sulkily making her intentions clear, Asa had a troubled expression, but a smile then returned to her face. We took another look at the place that we were now able to use. Our heads soon started to fill with all the thoughts of what we would be able to do here.
これでやっと始められるわね。飛ぶための準備をね。
Time, which felt like it was going nowhere, began to feel like it was accelerating. All right, folks, we're going to call it here. And what an exciting episode. Asa finally joined the club. And one heck of a bargain at that. I mean, I'll give you all this space to work on your stuff if you let me join the club, even though I might not be of any use. But I like how the team basically said, look, we were rookies when we first started. So honestly, we'll share with you what we know, and maybe you could become just as good as we are, if not better. So that's one thing to consider also is mentoring. If you can mentor someone, by all means, please do. Be a positive impact to someone in your community. Whether they're young or old, be a positive impact. Trust me, you will be rewarded over time. So with that, thanks again for watching. If you like what you saw today, maybe leave a like. And if you want to see more, maybe consider subscribing. Oh, and one big detail also, I'm working on a Patreon configuration right now, to which the first tier will be a first access tier. So what that will involve is you will get first access to the videos before their scheduled publish date on YouTube. So it'll bypass the YouTube wait period, and as soon as it's uploaded, it will become available to the patrons. So keep an eye out on my Discord server under the media announcements channel when that tier will be active. So with that, thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy mixing, everyone.